I think we rolling. I think we rolling. What's going on, everybody? George Osei back at it again with another video. This time, we got ourselves a little album review from one of one of my favorite artists right now, Maggie Lindemann. Hold up, she just dropped an album called "I Feel Everything." Can I? Yeah. So let's get right into it. With my album reviews, we do a track by track breakdown, and I have condoms comments about this. And with Maggie, most of her music is relationship related, so I might go on a tangent or three. But without further ado, on I Feel Everything, the first song is called Fang. Now, would it really be a Maggie Lindemann song without toxic relationship content? Nope. So it's kind of a concept song right here, right? Where she equates love to obsession. And whoever or whatever situation she's describing, this happens um, routinely almost. And it has like a vampire like vibe to it, which I do like. I do like that a lot. And then, of course, we have a nice little beat switch. We love beat switches over here. Good song. Good song. Good start right there. Next, we got Spine. Another concept. And at first listen, you'll think that she's kicking dudes' backs in. But there are men out there that believe that they have to tell the woman that they're the man, as if she doesn't know that you're a man. And some believe this is an effective way of dealing with women. But this here, if we're going to listen to the other side, women interpret this as if you're actually asking them to allow you to lead. And it's not a very convincing way to showcase leadership. My question was, once they believe this, that you're asking them to lead, can that be fixed in a relationship? I have my doubts. But she continues on. And I will say this, she has no use for a useless man. Excuse me. She has no use for a predictable man. Next, we have Morning. Morning. When a white woman says, I don't want to fight, I feel like she want to fight. I don't know. That's just me. However, this song talks about loving somebody that you live with, but then the love fades and you still live with that person. You just can't leave. And this is something that happens quite frequently, man. Random tangent. Random tangent. I know a guy where, due to finances, has to stay in a sexless cohabitation. And the woman that he lives with, know he's struggling financially. And I believe she's using that as leverage against him. Oh, he going through it. Going through it, bruh. Ah, not something that I would suggest anyone to get involved with, but man, it's really rough out here, especially for the men. When you're in financial struggles and you're trying to deal with a woman that feel like she got more leverage than you, you're gonna have a long day, long week. Ah. However, when you're in a situation and love is gone, but you still live with your partner, co-parent, whoever, roommate, how long does that situation last before you or that other person start looking elsewhere to fill that void that was once gone? Hiding who you talking to, very suspicious. However, on the outside, your friends who see y'all living together, they're so supportive, even though they might know that something's a little bit off, but they still support you. Now, that support would never help the relationship, extend. But are they showing support because they're projecting? They want you to make it. Maybe they're not making it either. I don't know. That song made me think a lot. I did like this one right here. Next song. Joyride. This is a trope right here, man. Why do the craziest women have the most fireest box? Got a song? No, I don't. Why do the crazy women have the most firebox? I don't know. But this song here reminds me of a Lana Del Rey song. And here, Maggie describes how nice it feels when she can be with a guy and turn her mind off completely. In my opinion, when two people are in a relationship and they both not thinking, that's when these things work out the best. Yeah, man, we can't be thinking while we together. Let's just be autonomous. All right, next, suburbs. Not many people talk about how the economy can impact the stability of a relationship. And love is cool, but who gonna pay all these bills? That's one side of this relationship dynamic when you have that stability right there. However, Maggie goes a little bit left. Are relationships pointless for women? They get bored very easily doing the same routine all day, especially when they know that there's something out there that's different. Quite a conundrum right here. But hey, we will continue. Another good song right here. Let Me Burn. I think this is a feature one too. But this builds on the previous track about how women can get bored in a relationship. When men, they get into relationships with their egos and they expect women to stroke their ego. Because this is the only reason why a man thinks giving his commitment away makes sense. But there's a disconnect here. And Maggie drills in on that one, where women are not out here trying to stroke a man's ego. And which is crazy. I think I saw a video. Hold up. I saw a video that had this conversation. Hold up, bear with me. Is it? This is not it. Whoa. You open up Instagram and a woman got her feet out. I think this is the one. Here we go. Let me share this screen. It gets right into this about how I think it's difficult for women to stroke a man's ego. especially if she's one of these type of women right here. Pandora's box has been opened. Uh-oh. There we go. My John's about to die. All right. Y'all see this? Yeah, this is decisions. But peep this combo right here. Let me refresh this.
Want to be with.
All right. Here we go. This is essentially what she describes on Let It Burn.
Be with successful women.
That person's definitely not confident. And I've actually had that before where a guy was like, yeah, no. Oh, I need my woman at home at 5 o'clock, which I understand. And that's cool. That's what you want. But for me, but I also do understand being the feminine.
I believe a lot of successful women today think that being in their feminine means they want a man that's making just as much as them
or more.
I believe or more. And I think that's what makes it difficult to date.
Everyone in their household can come together with their own custom. We don't gotta follow these yellow brick roads that these people are saying on different podcasts.
The narrative around men are supposed to take care of everything wasn't the narrative being pushed to me at all when I was growing up. And so.
You hear that? This was not something that women were thinking about. So if they're not being really conditioned into stroking a man's ego in a relationship, and a man requires that in a relationship, you're going to have some problems. This is why I suggest, instead of men cheating on their women, they should be open about what they want. And just tell them that I'm going to be non-monogamous. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. We have another song here. I Don't Belong Here. This is the curse of women these days, or actually in life. It's weird. The more attractive she is, the more insecure she happens to be. And this tends to happen when they don't get what they want from any situation that they're in. That insecurity just creeps up, and it's such a shame. Shout out to Maggie for highlighting this here. And we got Evil. Very catchy song. And, people who are unhealed, they don't deal with conflict well. And especially when you're in a relationship, conflict is going to happen. It's encouraged. You got to know who you're dealing with. And sometimes it does not go well for everyone. We have Lost Cause. Yeah. This is the point of the album when I was like, damn, Maggie, I think you are the problem. Or at least people who think this way. Constantly comparing herself to other women, other people, other situations. This is not good. This is not good. This is not good at all. But that's that insecurities that she builds on from the tracks earlier. And we have 2022. I call this the Remembering the Good Times music. And Mag explained there's a reason why the past should remain the past. And we shouldn't feel guilty about keeping the past where it is. Because those memories you have, that's all they are, just memories. Yeah, even like sexually, when you're remembering dealing with somebody, you can't recreate that experience by thinking about it. At least not. Yeah, no, you can't recreate it. You can have good memories of it. You can remember the time it happened. But as time progresses, you'll be like, I remember the month we did this. I remember the year. You got kids running around. So you're like, I know we had sex at one point. We got all these kids running around. And That's natural. And that's how it should be, man. You just gotta keep the past in the past. And I feel bad about that. We have Fate. I think this is another single. Very catchy, great hook. And it's about people who make the same old mistakes over and over and over again. Another very relatable song here. Next is Heart Drop. Maggie can't let the insecurities go. She even goes as far as comparing herself, well, not in so many words, but to chicken cutlet. Hey, Maggie, listen, I love me some chicken cutlet. Layered vocals on here. She's describing burning desire that women can have for men. I'm usually not that man women have burning desire for, and I'm okay with that. But essentially, is when they want you physically, but they can't have you emotionally. No, that's where things go left. Next, we have Split. As I was listening to this, the question that popped in my head is, can a woman have a man lead, but not consider it controlling? I'm going to say no, dog. This song does hit home. You know, because I've been told many times where some women can't get a good read on me. They don't know if I like them or not. I might like some things about you, but I'm playing. But yeah, sometimes I'm told I'm hard to read. Yeah, I'm okay with that. What do we have next? One of those ones, I think it was another single she had. I felt the way she started this song off was just cold in a good way. Because there are women out there that can completely fake that funk with you. And this here is building off the intro track about going through the motions. And she explains that, hey man, this might be your lucky day. I'll fake it like I always wanted you, especially when I've been drinking. But fellas, be careful. A drunk woman is risky because that's a completely different woman than her sober version, especially if she's white. But hey, this that take a risk music over here. Then we have It's Still You. On here, Maggie questions why she like toxic relationships. But that's because she's toxic herself. And I will say this, fellas, women remember everything. And for some reason, men love these crazy ass women. However, eventually, she will be tired of them jerks. It may not be today, but one day she will be like, I can't deal with this toxic stuff anymore. And then she's gonna look for someone who's not toxic and bring all this baggage with her. Cold game out here. I think the last song is I Feel Everything. That's the name of the album. This almost plays out like she has like a flower in front of her and she's ripping off the pellets like, do I love him? Do I not love him? And what I liked about this is that as the song progresses, they start distorting everything, almost as if it's like a transformation is occurring. And if you're one of those people that loop the album back to the beginning, you're seeing her transform into this vampire. It's very cool. I like that. Well done, Maggie. Well done here. So, like I said, this is not the first Maggie song, the Maggie album I've heard. I might have done another. I might have did another review on her albums, but I don't think I made a video for it. But it's on my site somewhere. And what I appreciate about her music is that she has this real raw view of relationships. Such a young age too. And here she's just showing her artistry off, how she's making all the song kind of build off of each other, so you can see, how a toxic relationship can impact a person. And it's like some of these tropes, man. Like, you ever notice like people never apologize until after they get caught? Like, you weren't planning on apologizing prior to this, but now that you've been caught, all of a sudden you want to start apologizing. And then the female nature that's described throughout this whole album, where they're never satisfied, and them never being satisfied leads to them even doubting themselves, which leads them to picking wrong men and end up in toxic relationships. It's very interesting because it's balanced with the fact that many women do not like signs of instability in a relationship. It could be romantically, it could be financially, right? And this causes them to overthink. And that leads to problems in the relationship. And sometimes the relationship will come to an end because of this. And the crazy thing is that when these relationships end, you ain't got nothing to show for it. Just these memories. I mean, the good times, they're going to remain the good times, man. But at the end of the day, you just going to remember, yeah, there's a time and a place, but that's as far as it's going to go for you. Now, the way women deal with trauma is very interesting, very different than men. And some women can easily sleep with another man right after a breakup, just like this. And this is more common than we like to admit. And I'm glad that she speaks on this. Now, I like the content. I like the lyrics. The production here, solid. They're experimenting with, different tempos and, distortion, and, the overall presentation on this is very nice. Like, Mag considers her genre of music anti-pop. Like a blend. So on here you'll hear a blend of typical pop, throwing some EDM and some rock in there too. And I'll even go as far as saying that she even tapped into some ASMR too, if you're into that type of stuff. But yeah, really enjoyed this one here. Good job, Maggie. Now, what are some standouts? Like Spine. Then we get into Evil. Split. Split was good. And I want to say One of Ones. Yeah. That was awesome. All right. Are we good? We're good now. Got that. I'm gonna do this here. There we go. So yeah, you can catch this this album review wherever you see it. Like, comment, subscribe. And I'm George Ose. I got nothing more to say. Y'all have a good one.